everyone, so here we are in the backyard, and today I have a bit of a project in planting my apple trees that I picked up from the UBC Apple Festival, as well as some apple seedlings that I grew back in February of this year from seed. They were taken from an ambrosia apple, and we don't know what we're going to get from them, but I have them already planted along the fence line. So today we're going to, as you can see here, we're going to measure out for a little mini fence that I'm putting parallel to my black one. And we'll dig up my little apple seedlings and place them every 6 feet along this little mini fence that I'm building so that I can grow them as an espalier. The intention with it is to make it as a step over espalier system. So the max height that my little apple seedlings will grow to is 1 foot tall. And of course, like I mentioned, 6 feet apart. So when you grow apples from seed, there is no guarantee of what you will get. It may or may not be similar to the apple it came from. It may or may not even produce a good tasting apple. So this is a bit of a gamble. However, I do know that apple trees are very easy to graft. So if needed, as these are growing, if I don't like them, I will try to graft from some of the other apple trees I have and see if I can produce good tasting apples along this line. So as you can see here, I'm measuring out 6 feet so that I can place my little stakes. And the distance between the fence and the stakes is 40 inches. All right, so as you can see here, I am measuring out the halfway point, so 3 feet between stakes, and just placing a stone, as this is where I'm going to put my little seedlings. And once I finish this, then I'm off to start digging out each seedling on its own, and then we'll plant it in between. So we're starting here at the far end. I always start by removing all the mulch, and then I go ahead and dig quite a bit wider than the tree itself so that I can pretty much take out all the roots, as many roots as I can as well. So this is my first little seedling coming out and placing it in between the 2 pegs. And then we will just continue working our way down the line, and then we'll start planting the big trees. Okay, so as you can see here, I pulled out some string. This is what I'm going to use now to go down the line of my fence to start making my little espalier system. So this sweet little cat here belongs to my neighbor, and she always wants to come over for some cuddles, and she's so affectionate. So if I'm ever out in the yard trying to work, I usually take a lot of breaks and we get some cuddles in. So it doesn't matter where I am, she'll follow me around but I think one of her favorite things is when she gets picked up like a baby and gets cradled and cuddled. So you'll see that here in just a minute. As you can see, I actually am starting to plant my first apple tree. What's in the bucket here is actually my potting mix that I make, and every tree I have that has been growing in pots in this mix have done exceptionally well. This is just an equal parts mix of perlite sand and peat moss, and I do find that it really helps to keep the roots of the plants really happy and healthy, and also helps with drainage. So I'll be doing that in every hole that I am planting today with these bigger trees. The next one going in here is my orange tree. And as you'll see here, I pushed away all of the bark mulch as I don't want that in the growing hole. And we're going to put in some more of my potting mix. And we'll fill it in around the sides. And what I find really key when planting is that you want to press down with your foot all around so that it gives a firm compaction of the soil around the roots, and then load up the mulch all the way around the trunk. Now I usually don't put the mulch touching the trunk, but I do put it as close to it as possible, and so then it gives it a bit of a well for water to collect and drain down to the roots. Okay, so now of course the next thing that must happen is watering. You want to make sure you water thoroughly and very well around the trunk system. And in this case here, I knew that we were going to get a big rain shower that night, so I didn't water quite as much as I maybe normally would have if it was a warm or hot day. But you definitely want to make sure everything is saturated. So we're heading back here to the setting up with the string. As you can see here, I'm just pulling it across, wrapping it around each post a few times to secure it. Okay, so here we are looking at the other side of my yard, and on this side I'm planting 2 persimmon trees. The very first one here that I will be planting is called Giro persimmon. It is a non-astringent Asian cultivar, and it produces these really beautiful firm fruit with a gorgeous orange-red color. And the foliage in the fall will actually be the same colors as the fruit. And it's got a really nice sweet mild flavor due to its low tannins. So with this fruit here, you can eat it anytime as soon as it starts turning orange, similar in texture to like eating an apple. And then as the weeks go on, it will soften up a little bit more. Now, this one here I'm planting with my potting mix again, so keeping the soil nice and light and aerated. And once we are done planting this tree, we're going to go ahead and give it a good soaking, of course, making sure that everything is well watered, and then we'll get into planting our second persimmon. Okay, so I've come back now with another load of my potting mix, and then we'll push away all the mulch and then dig out our hole here. Now with this tree here, I'm really excited about this persimmon. It is called Seijo. It's an Asian variety and it's also astringent. And when it comes to astringent varieties, you do have to make sure that the persimmon is almost water balloon in feel and a very beautiful dark orange. But once it's really soft, then it is perfectly ready to be eaten. And as you can see here again, just watering it in. And these guys now are perfectly ready to go through our first fall and winter time. And we'll see what happens next year. I don't know if we'll get fruit or not, but the excitement of seeing what's going to happen is a large part of the thrill of growing your own fruit trees. So here, just giving everything a good watering, as I've got a bunch of kohlrabi and carrots and beets in this area, and some strawberries. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.